Welcome to the full beginner's guide to Bomb Warrior. In this video, you are going to learn everything that you need to know on how to get started with this extremely powerful deck. And by the end of it, you'll know more than 90% of people who try to play this deck on the ladder of the warrior mains that you're going to be encountering. So, Bomb Warrior is an ultra powerful deck, and if piloted well, it's one of the strongest out there. And it's been my go-to deck of choice to climb to Legend for the past few months, and probably will continue to be that for a while as long as it remains valid in the meta. First, I want to introduce the list that we'll be rolling with today. This is a fairly popular build and one of the more consistently successful ones at that, so we're going to be going with this list you're going to see on screen here. The key idea here is, of course, to shuffle bombs into your opponent's deck using your orange calibers. All the weapon buffs upgrade, and you have the Dr. Krasnov as well with one Horde Pillager to get yourself a third charge of the weapon. Secondarily, you have a lot of armor gain here. That's really to heighten your life total and to be able to carry you into the late game, into the turn 8, turn 10 and beyond, to really take advantage of the strategy, the slower developing bomb strategy in certain matchups. And then finally, you have Blastmaster Boom, which is an ultra powerful card. We're going to be using it as a finisher. We're going to be using that to tempo out, to win games, to win control games. If fully charged, this card is one of the most powerful legends in the game, and we're going to be making use of that to finish off our opponents. Now we're going to get into a game shortly here, but first some philosophical principles that you absolutely have to know. You have to engrave this into your brain if you're going to be playing this deck. Bomb Warrior is not a control deck. Repeat after me. This is not a control deck. It is not an aggro deck either. In fact, it doesn't really fit the general traditional approach to the Hearthstone deck type trifecta where you have control, combo, and aggro specifically. It's a modern approach to deck building in that it comes with several win conditions that are all connected and tied to each other, which makes it such a strong tool against the variety of decks that you're going to be facing, a wide variety of decks you will be facing. It's a very diverse metagame right now on the ladder. And that brings me to another really important point. With this deck, you play the matchup. You don't play your deck. That's important. You don't play this deck, you play your matchup. And that's very different if you look, for example, at a deck like Face Hunter, which in the grand scheme of things plays the same every single game. You might have individual cards that are stronger against certain matchups. The Bomb Warrior adjusts completely depending on what you're going to be facing. And this means that the Mulligan approach, card values that we're looking at, as well as the playstyle are going to be changing completely from game to game. Makes it a little bit more complicated, a little bit more study intensive to really master the deck, but all the more worthwhile if you get it right. I'll give some more tips on how to exactly handle this, what cards to go for, and how to deal with certain different attempts at countering this deck, because this is one of the decks with the biggest bullseye on its back on the ladder right now. A lot of people are teching against this, trying to counter it, but we have methods to deal with that as well. We're going to get into that. First, I want to play a game just for demonstration here and see what we can do. So first we want to identify what's going on here. This is a mage, so we know exactly what's going on here. Mage plays exactly one thing right now, and this is early in the month. We're in the higher ranks. We're in Diamond, pushing for Legend. This is probably a good player, and he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing Cyclone Mage. He's going to be playing fast. He's going to try to have these overwhelming turns. So Bladestorm is a good keep, and I'm going to go for that. I'm also going to keep Corsair Cash. It's generally one of the highest win rate keeps, and spoilers, in a lot of matchups, this is really the card you're looking for. Shield Block is very versatile, I like it. Deathwing, potentially good if we can get to that point. It's an anti-giant, so that's very good. We'd like to see that. But Bladestorm could really be one of the keys here. If a lot of 2 health minions come down early, we're going to make good use of that one. Just draw the weapon. No need to panic. I think we'll just have shield block. Quartermaster is a tempting pick. Gonna go for shield block still. Because I really like Quartermaster on 4 because you get the lackey off of it. If you hit, if you're kind of high roll, you get Cobalt in this case, as well as the evolve lackey is very strong onto the Quartermaster itself. 4 is one of the best mana costs to evolve into, so Quartermaster on 4 is, it's a better 4-drop than it is a 3-drop. Okay, he's putting up a lot of damage here. I think we're gonna start using the weapon, expecting the secret to potentially be a counter spell, so we'll have to think about using the coin for that potentially in the future.
What makes something real?
Janus on Curve is a good find. So in all likelihood the Whelp is gonna be the real one, of course. I don't think he's playing those kinds of mind games here. Kind of the emergency exit is the Barov, which I'm currently considering that. I have the Kronks next turn, so I could use the coin right now. Now, if it's counterspell, I might have a slight problem, but I'm going to go for that, and it's not counterspell. So I'm going to go Barov, I'm going to clear this up. Making sure that, or kind of knowing that I still have a good play coming up next turn. It might be Ice Barrier here, we'll test for that, and it is. We have Cutting Class still coming up, weapon still buffed, and we have most likely Kronks next turn. Not too dissatisfied with 27 going into turn 6. Yeah, I think it's Kronk's time. It's kind of fishing a little bit. I'll take the Galakrond. Keep the board clear here. Make him put resources into our minions. And keep our face health up. We have Deathwing. If he finds giants, if he starts rallying.
You fight me, you get burned. Turn it up.
I think I want to go Quartermaster, probably Wrench, but we'll check the Lackey. Cobalt's fine. Yeah, I think we start shuffling here. We have a little bit of an opening for a potential boom if we were to draw it, because we're not under pressure that much, so I want to make sure there's 3 bombs in this deck at all times. Runs to this Deathwing pretty well. Fringe interaction, you should know, even though Deathwing gets frozen from hitting the first elemental, he still attacks all the other ones. So that's an important one you gotta know. He's gotta be frozen after, but he takes them all out first. Evocation here, no Sorcerer's Apprentice just yet. Slows him down quite a bit. And we have plenty of reload with Cutting Class. There's no need to really like tempo out the Galakrond. Kinda want to go for the boom instead. It's random secret, so the chances it's actually counterspell probably not too great. Not scared of it. I suspect the giant needs to die, no matter what, pretty much. He's a spellbender, but we have another one, so that's cool. Let's upgrade here. And I'm gonna swing this face. I want to start taking the aggressive load. Let him know, you know, you used evocation on red. You had your giant turn, and I think he might be running out of steam a little bit. I want to take advantage of that. Maybe it's Galakrond time pretty soon.
You don't pick the see?
Let's draw. I think Whirlwind's a good pickup once we get Boom. The question is Greedy Bladestorm versus just Principled Galakrond. I think I want to go for this. He's got 3 cards. Push the Lackey as well. To this point, if we top deck a Boom, it's just winning. And Galakrond has a good chance of pulling him too.
You don't pick the see?
I think we go for it.
I am unbreakable.
Really want the Boom. That's the worst one. We're gonna make use of that damage. I want to get the hero power in every turn. I think that's a win con as well. Imagine only having one of a legendary in your deck. Okay, I have this useless Corsair cash, so we'll check counterspell. Yep. That's alright. Okay, there's Boom. So I think we'll go Krasnov here. There's no reason not to. He's a big guy, so Boom is set up. We have Boom and Whirlwind. That's what our main reason why we play Whirlwind is for the Boom combinations. See how many 5/5s he generates here. We can even take it slow. Just brawl. Okay, let's think. We've seen Shambhala, we've seen 2 Evos. Giant. I'm kind of tempted to brawl. I want to get the clearest possible board here for the Boom next turn. And I'll make sure to push the hero power. I think we'll go super aggressive. Multiples of 5, by the way. There we go. Didn't even need it. That's a win. Easy clap. So let's take just a second to talk about what to do in tough situations with this, because a lot of people, you're going to encounter people who are trying to counter Bomb Warrior. It's got a big target on its back, and this card on screen is probably your worst enemy as it comes to that and what you're going to be facing. On that. A lot of control decks like to play this, and we have to understand to seize our opportunities if we're seeing heavy weapon removal. First of all, we have to know we have 3 weapon charges. We have both the wrenches. We also have the loot hoarder, and so that's 3 weapons. Typically, you're gonna see a maximum of 2 oozes, so we're still going to get our share of bombs in. We're gonna have to manage it well. Couple things you want to look for if you're facing a weapon removal. That's typically an indication of a heavy control deck that's trying to outlast everything. An early Galacront is very key in those matchups because you get that sustained damage. You're not going to need the armor as much as you're going to need damage. So look for Kronks, look for Galacront early, and don't be afraid to play them early. Take your boom value a bit more liberally in those. Don't mind playing him for 2 or even 4 bots. You're rarely going to get the full value out of him. If you can tempo him out on 7, maybe you haven't seen an ooze it and you manage to shuffle 2 bombs, take it. Just put him down, take the value, take the damage. We are going on the aggressive, on the offensive, trying to out damage him fast instead of waiting, because there's not going to be 10 bombs throughout the duration of the game that are going to kill him eventually. We have to take the offensive, seize the offensive, so boom, drop him down if you have him. And lastly, don't be too afraid to push out upgrades. There have been times where I just stack 2 upgrades and that baits out an ooze. Or, of course, you could play a third type of weapon. You could play Livewire Lance or an Anchor. I don't like doing it, but some people do, to bait out these oozes or these weapon removal cards. Don't be too scared. Don't sit there on your hand with upgrades that are never going to come into use. So play them and use them for damage. Another thing you're going to be seeing quite a lot and you need to be prepared for is the mirror match. Let's face it, it's a popular deck. A lot of people are going with it. A lot of people are going to try to play it and climb to the higher ranks with it. So you're going to be seeing a lot of mirror matches. One thing you can do if that happens to you is tech in an ooze yourself. Oozes can go in Warrior, and they can help you get that upper hand in the mirror. The other thing is understand how this plays out. The Bomb Warrior mirror, somewhat counterintuitively, is a super aggressive tempo matchup. It's about killing the other guy. And you want to keep your boom, maybe even your Galacront, in the mulligan if you get it. That's to the degree of aggro matchup we're talking about. That's what it comes down to. If you get 1 Reg Caliber and you have your boom on 7, you have a very good chance of winning the mirror. The Bomb Warrior mirror rarely goes beyond turn 10, so that's something to keep in mind. And lastly, something I see a lot of people struggle with the Bomb Warrior is against super fast aggro decks, against the Swarm, the Rush decks that come mostly from Hunter and Rogue at this point, Demon Hunter on the occasion. And these can be tough to deal with. It's really important that also you understand what we're doing here. Play your removal first. Sword and Board is a very important one. Quartermaster, crucial cards in those matchups, as well as you saw me, for example, kept the Bladestorm against the Mage, because I know the types of boards that they like to create. You don't have to feel bad about mulliganing away a wrench in a matchup when you're seeing Hunter or when you're seeing Rogue. Because playing wrench on 4 is often too slow. Even if that's your win condition, it's not there. You are now the control deck. You're a control hunter. And you might win with bombs, like 1 in 5 games. Against those, you might win with bombs, because you can take it to turn 10. But make sure you have the removal and the armor gain first in those matchups. That's very important. So I hope I was able to teach you a little bit about how to play a Bomb Warrior. Again, you should probably mark the location of this video, bookmark it somewhere, and refer to it repeatedly. And I believe that just knowing, understanding the principles, and getting the practice in, most importantly as well, just get in there and play it, understand the principles, and then go play. You're going to be able to play this deck a lot better than the majority of people do. A lot of people try to trend jack and grab a deck out of HDS Replay that looks really good, that's doing well. They see it, they get beaten by it on the ladder, and they just play it for themselves. They don't understand the nuances of it. So I think that the Bomb Warrior is the strongest deck if played correctly in the game right now. And I think you should take advantage of that fact, understanding what makes it strong, how to get the most of it, and I hope I was able to help you with that a little bit. Being a kind of a Bomb Warrior, a warrior expert in general, I definitely felt I wanted to get that out there, so I hope you really enjoyed the video. If you did so, I would really appreciate it if you dropped me a like on it, and also consider subscribing to Trashcan TV. I'm hoping to produce more of this kind of content for you, and if you have any questions, I'm glad to help you out on that a little bit. You are also free to join our Discord server. A link to that is in the description. We have a lot of players there, even players that are a level above me even that are very, very strong players that will be glad to help you out if you're more of a beginner. So I hope it was a good introduction to the deck. I hope you're going to have a lot of fun playing this, and I hope you're going to make a lot of people's days miserable by playing Bomb Warrior, because that's, of course, #1 rule of Warrior Club is make people quit Hearthstone. So have fun playing, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. That's it.